Hello, hello. I hope everyone is good today. Hello, Monica. I just barely got your message because I was in, what am I watching? Watching something on, Into the Night on Netflix. And is it all that good? Not really, but it has entertained me. So I've done that. And I wanted to share with you, Monica, you may have remembered I had a lot to say about not receiving this palette that I ordered February. Yeah, from BoxyCharm. Finally got it. February. It arrived, I think, Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. It's not bad. It's cute. But one of the things that I will say is that I've noticed now that I've gotten different palettes from BoxyCharm, a lot of the colors are very similar to in other palettes. Let's see. The color that I do like the most I'm going to go the wrong way. Which way? There. That one. Oh gosh, this is so weird. Okay, I need to just tell you this one. I can't point at it because I'm looking at it backwards. That one I really like a lot. It blends really well. But see, wait, am I going to, okay, this one, and even that one. It's like every palette has colors very similar to that. And so, and I haven't tried, am I going to get it this way? And this looks, I think, much bluer on the screen than what it is. It's more like kind of a green blue. I haven't tried that because I thought it looked like it was going to have a little bit of a sheen to it when I saw the little bitty tiny picture in BoxyCharm. But it is what it is. It was $6 because I get BoxyCharm. But since February, I mean, why did it take so stinking long? I mean, that's ridiculous. And I cannot tell you how many different emails that I sent saying, hey, where is this? And supposedly they had sent it, 2 other times, but it never got here. It was really flipping annoying. Really, really annoying. Okay. Hey, Renee, how are you, darling? All right. So I have my list of things to chat with you about today. First of all, I want to say I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you're safe. I hope you have what you need, and that your day has gone well. All of those good things. I had a great interview today with one of my subscribers and patrons, Red, and that was a lot of fun chatting with her. So I'll get that edited at some point and get it out for this next week. I have 2 videos that are sitting there waiting to be published, but because Facebook, YouTube, oh my gosh, I get my social medias mixed up. What can I say? YouTube just likes instantly demonetizing everything right now. They're sitting there with a little yellow, and I'm like, you know what? I'll give it till Monday and I'll see. Because there's a true crime one that I want to release, the Texas killing fields, but I'm like, let me just, see what happens. And I guess it's because I, talk about murder a bit. I don't even show, I mean, I don't really say anything that's awful. I mean, honestly, it's not compared to some channels, I guess. I don't know what those are, but Anyway, let's see. All right. So Monica and I have had a lot of fun this week. You guys know that Monica and I talk all the live long day, every day, just voice clips. And we both kind of reached this point. Maybe it is with what's going on in the world that we finally just had it with people leaving crappy remarks about, just the most bizarre things, that we're both middle finger up to all of you guys. Because, this is just craziness. I mean, I know somebody said something to her about her hair and how she needed to get her hair done. We're in a pandemic. And she's been talking about for the past couple of months that she needs to get her hair done. It's okay, so you're just going to come in and attack someone personally? What the hell is that? What is that? Why do people do that? I mean, do you feel powerful doing that? I don't know. And I had something happen, a couple of things. Oh, the big thing I'm going to talk about, in case you never did see, hey, Jesus, if you never did see, you watched my Vector Cutco video and found it interesting. Oh, Well, they have a similar to design because vector marketing is the, I guess, like what you kind of join, and Cutco are the knives that you sell. It's basically the same thing. It is, but I guess maybe they did the logo similar since they are, I guess, two halves of the same coin. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, Joseph, you're so sweet. You're so sweet about Monica. You know, I love my girl, Monica. Anyway, so I was going to talk to you about when pro MLM attacks, because this week, yet again, and there is a pattern on this. If you have, you may have not seen the multiple videos that I have done on the MLM known as Enagic, but they don't call it, MLM, because, there's companies, they like to distance themselves from multi-level marketing, direct sales, network marketing, and come up with new words, social selling, one-on-one marketing, all kinds of stuff. And it's like, dude, really, it's like the same thing. I mean, you're just making up new terms. It's just like, how many ways do you think you can dress up that pig? You can put on as many different shades of lipstick as you want. It's still a pig. Boom. That's what it is. So anyway, these robots from Canada, because I don't think they like the fact that I peeled back their entire scheme of what they do to get you to join their water filtration scheme called Enagic. You attend their webinar first. And I have such a huge problem with that because with my background in instructional design, a webinar, and Tamale is here with me. Don't look at my floors. They're dirty. There's like dog fur balls. So, I mean, if you want to judge me, go right on ahead, because I don't care. And you can suck an egg if you're going to have something to say, that the fact that I need to clean my floors. I know I do. I have eyes. I've just been lazy. I don't like doing it. So there's that. Okay. So anyway, and I touched something that's greasy, and there's greasy stuff in my hair. The diva Chalupa is in the bedroom on the bed because, he's got to be on something, just all kinds of plushy and everything. She tried to escape out of here. And because I know my backdrop, which you can, am I pointing to? Yeah, over there. When I pull that out, it freaks her out. So I guess she thought, oh my God, Mama's going to pull that thing out again. So she tried to scoot out, but I caught her. I trapped her. So anyway, back to these Canadian robots. The first time I did a video on them, they eventually made a privacy claim. And everybody in it is a public figure. So how private are you when you're a public figure? And there was no identifying information, but they're a bunch of wussies. So, in my opinion, allegedly, all that stuff. And so there was that, which gave me more time to go and dig up more dirt, which I did. And so then I was able to look at the webinar you attend, which is what I have coined as Selenar. Tamale and Chalupa is the other one, Joseph. And so this webinar is all designed so that you'll get so excited about getting this course so that you can create something that you can market online and have your own business. And when you decide, yes, this is the thing I want to do, you pay $149 and then you get the course. But when you get the course, you don't get the full course, because you don't get the full course until you decide that you're going to buy the Enagic water filtration device, which is about $5,000. I mean, there's different ones that they have, but, we'll just say $5,000, and that's that. And if you can't afford $5,000, then, there's ways that you can, what do you call it? Not a loan, but what am I trying to say? Pay it off, finance. That's it. Finance it. There we go. Okay. Brain fart. Anyway, you can finance it. So I expose all of these things. And so now what I've noticed is about every 6 weeks, I get mob dislikes from them. And I'm to the point now, and thank you, Monica, because she was like, have they not heard of Trisha Paytas? And if you don't know who Trisha Paytas is, just plug her name into, YouTube, into Google. And, if you go and look on Trisha's page, I mean, because she's a troll, but, she's not stupid because she gets millions of views and stuff, but everybody hates on every single one of the videos. So now my goal is for that video, bring on the hate, and surely you can do more than what you've done, because it's really not bad. But I have, the last time I checked, over 600 dislikes on that one video, which is highly unusual, because usually, when you go to a channel, most videos are roughly around the same ratio, and there's always going to be someone that is just going to go, meh, just because I guess they think that that's fun for whatever reason. They just like hating on stuff. It's like, whatever, I don't care. And so now really I'm like, you know what? Just bring your hate. And the thing is I figure that within their course or within their Facebook group, which is the dream team, I kind of think it's really more of a nightmare. But anyway, I just have a feeling that they have a link to this video and they tell people to come in and attack it. Now, there's another video I did on them, which I have this picture of this very weird clown. It says marketing mentors on there. I think that's the one I talk about their webinar. That one has been banned in Canada. No one in Canada can see it because they don't want people in Canada seeing it. That's where they're from. Hence, that's why I call them Canadian robots. But now I'm just to the point where, you know what? Bring on that hate. Keep hating on it, because you know what? It doesn't do a thing to me. All it does is it shows what you are. It shows that, you know what? If you're having so many people hate on this, why? Why do you feel the need to have people go hate on it? I mean, why? And the thing is, you know what? Those people who are like thinking these two guys are like amazing initially, over time, as they're realizing, they're spending all this money on these Facebook ads to bring people in to sell them this affiliate thing, which is, the course that you buy for $149, which then leads you to an magic. And when they're not having the success that they thought that they would have because these robots said that you'll have the success, they just might happen to remember this video and maybe go back and actually watch all of it, because I can tell right now, I can tell how much they're watching. I can see where the people are from, because there's this thing called analytics on every single video, and you can look at that stuff as a content creator, So it's like they're so transparent. So now it's just comical to me. It's like, wow, I still bother you. You're worried about me. My little tiny channel bothers you that much that you have to send people to hate on it, because there's no way that within one day I would get over 100 dislikes on it. There is no way. There's no way that within a couple of days, because I can see what it is, on a regular basis in terms of the number of views per day. There's no way that I would get like close to 1,000 views in 2 days on that video unless people were being sent to it. And it's like, and the bottom line is it helps me, it's like, that's the bottom line. It's like, go ahead, hate on it. You know what? I'd love to make the money that Trisha Paytas makes from all the hate she gets. So I don't care. Hate on it. Hate on any video you want to. I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. If it makes you feel that good and special and powerful, knock yourself out on that, because it's just, but the thing is, what bothers me, not that people are hating on the video. I don't care. But that people have influence on people to cause them to take the action. To me, and I'd have to just go back and look at some stuff. It makes me think undue influence, which I can, look up what all of that has, because there's actually a scale of undue influence that's positive versus negative that Stephen Hassan did. And it's like, so I think about that. I think about a cult leader, because you know what? when you get people to go take action like that, I'm worried about how they're being psychologically manipulated. That's what's bothering me. Not the fact that people are leaving crappy remarks on it, because now I'm just like laughing at what you're saying. But I'm also concerned about the people that are saying these things, because it's like, wow, you are really being taken for a ride mentally. And that's scary, you know? I mean, if you think about it now, when you're dealing with an MLM, it's a business opportunity cult. And usually when people hear cult, they think religious cult, like Heaven's Gate. And, you know, Heaven's Gate, that inspired, 39 people to take their own life. Jim Jones, let's see, how many people committed suicide in Guyana? A lot. I don't remember what the number is. Charles Manson, getting people to, I think 9 people were killed in one night, if I remember correctly. I mean, that's some serious stuff. There's, and I'm not going to remember what it's called, but it's an Asian sect where people would like light themselves on fire. I mean, so like, it can be a serious thing to, you know, get people to take action. Scientology, getting people to spend thousands of dollars on these courses because there's like some space alien that's, you know, all that insanity, if you know anything about Scientology. I mean, you know, belief systems are very powerful, you know, and when people get wrapped up in a belief system real tight, that can cause you to make all kinds of choices where you're not using any kind of critical thought at all. It's like that critical thinking has gone out the window, and you can't be rational whatsoever because you're just taking the actions you're told to take. Not unlike business opportunity cults, MLM, not unlike those which tell you during a pandemic, go out and say that this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I mean, you know, it's all the same yet different. They just have different names, you know, but they all use the same tactics. So when pro MLM people attack you, and they will, you know, ask Monica, they attack. They attack. So she and I have both done this. And thank you, Monica, because she did this. First, she pinned the comment of what somebody said about her hair and then wrote something. So I'm like, that's a great idea. My girl, Monica, is so smart. So now I get these crappy comments. It's like, okay, I'm going to pin it too, and then say something back to them and be polite, because I don't hate the people who have joined these things at all. I have no beef with the individuals. I don't hate the Huns. I don't hate the MLMers, whatever you want to call them. I don't hate the distributors for MLM products at all. You know, I have so much compassion for them because I was one of them. What I am against and what I do criticize is the structure of these companies and these people who create these companies, and then who create these side things that get people to join these companies. That to me is problematic. And that is what I will pick apart and examine, lift the hood and be like, what is going on here? Because there's too many people who lose tons of money and time. And that's why I do it. It's to educate and inform. And am I going to get everything about every single company right? Like all the nuances? Of course not, because guess what? I'm not an expert on all of these different companies. What am an expert on is being able to research them, being able to, if they have an income disclosure statement, I'm an expert at being able to look at that and be like, oh, look, most people are losing money, and that doesn't take a lot to be able to do. And my hair is coming down, and it's driving me nuts. You know, really is. So when pro MLM people attack you, to me, the best thing you can do is, one, you don't have to always respond to them, because there's nothing written anywhere that says that you do. Because a lot of times stuff that they say, I mean, I look at it and I'm just like, WTF. I'm like, I wouldn't even know what to say. And I'm not going to get into this tit for tat, you know, because I know I'm not going to be able to talk any sense into anyone, because when you are so indoctrinated into the belief that this is the best thing and this is the ticket to freedom because of cognitive dissonance, even if facts are presented, you're not going to be able to see it. So I don't go back and forth because that, I might as well talk to Tamale and tell Tamale to jump up on the bed. And let me tell you, that girl has jumped up on the bed twice. That's it. The rest of it, she waits until mama picks her up. She's just not going to do it. She can. She's capable. She chooses not to. So these people are capable of having a rational discussion. They choose not to because of all of the thought reform, everything that they've gone through and how they've been mentally manipulated. But guess what? My content will be here for when they all of a sudden start going like, wow, it's not going the way that I thought it would. Maybe they'll remember they saw something and come back. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? And I'm kind of rambling, but when they attack you, I'd say you don't have to respond. And if you do respond to something and you are like on YouTube or something, be kind, because it always goes back to that old saying, you get more flies with honey than you do vinegar. It's the same kind of thing. You don't have to be nasty. You just really don't have to be nasty, because this is not about me being nasty to individuals who have chosen to join multi-level marketing. Remember, I did it. Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, rode the pony. I mean, the whole 9 yards, did all of that. I understand. I understand what's going on in your head. Maybe not your particular thing. Hey, Kristen, but overall, I get it. I get it. So be kind and don't always respond. But if you have an opportunity, like what I've tried to do is basically show this looks like a very jerky statement. Like what they're saying, they look like a jerk in comparison to what I'm doing, because I'm informing people, in my opinion. That's just what I'm saying. That's what I think. So, you know what? Like I said, bring it, brobots, Canadian brobots, bring on the hate. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. It just gives me more things to talk about you. That's all. Because some of the things that I did notice. Oh, here's something they're doing now. You ready for this? They're getting people to do marketing for them so that they don't have to pay for their marketing. And how are they doing that? I'll tell you. Now you can look them up and it's like 2-minute interview with robot A and robot B. I'm not saying their names because of hashtag privacy. They get their panties in a twist, if you say their names or anything. So you guys can look at the videos, and, I do put a hashtag with their names in the videos so that they can easily be found. I do the courtesy for that. And so, yeah, what was I saying now? I love that when I just get off track. You guys ever do that? But it gives me something to, I was talking about what they're doing. So now they're doing these 2-minute and 3-minute interviews. Well, why would they do these 2-minute and 3-minute interviews? Because these are people that have joined their thing, either doing just their affiliate marketing thing, which is that $149 course, or they've joined their team with Enagic. And so now they're doing interviews with them, because when you are the hun, you're thinking, oh, this person really knows their stuff. And I can show the world how well connected I am because they're so successful. But the thing is, all you're doing is you're marketing them. They're not doing anything for you, but they make it sound like they are. It's always about them and what you can do for them, like line their pockets in some way. Just saying. My opinion. Allegedly. All of that. Okay, so now I wanted to talk about building your, because I'm going to say, I critique MLMs, that's what I do. I criticize the structure. I criticize the business model because I don't agree with it for all the reasons I've said in all these videos. And if you guys are here, then you know me and you kind of know what I think about it because you're on the same page. So one of the things that happened last week when I talked to Lisa is we had a conversation off camera about, there were people that she wants to help. And I'm like, well, you can't do it. And I talked about this with you guys last week too. You can't do it by being aggressive and telling people they're in a pyramid scheme or that they're scammers or, doing that sort of thing. Because when you go hard at someone due to cognitive dissonance, they're going to dig their heels in more because they have to make what they believe in. They already have the belief system that MLM works. They have to make that truth. Even when they see the facts in front of them, they have to make what they already know to be true. They're going to dig in more. So attacking them is like counterproductive, and it's also toxic. It's toxic for people to behave like that. Plus, it also, anybody who sees those kinds of posts and things, people who have been in MLM and they've gotten out of it and they're seeing all that, it starts festering all of that stuff. It starts festering all of those things that you went through, and it kind of like brings you back to that mindset. And that's not a good place to be. And so I always believe that it's better to, come from a spot with love and kindness, care and concern, rather than attacking people for what they have chosen. Chosen's not a word, chosen to do. You know what? I mispronounce things. I'm human. What can I say? Anyway, so they chose to do this thing and it's not working. Well, attacking them doesn't help them at all. Being mean just doesn't work. So just don't be mean. Just don't be a jerk. It's pretty much that simple. Just don't be a jerk. Just because you think their actions are jerky doesn't mean you have to be a jerk back to them. It's just counterproductive. It just is. So what I told her to do instead is approach it like how you would want to be approached, which is basically someone being rational and kind towards you. But at the same time, build up an arsenal for yourself. And that arsenal might be like some websites like Americans Against Multi-Level Marketing, the Pyramid Scheme Alert, MLM, the American Dream Made Nightmare. Educate yourself on what it says on FTC, different YouTube channels that you find useful, particular videos by creators that you find useful. There's it's For and Against MLM, which was written by Dr. John Taylor, who is no longer with us. And there's different things that you can get. There's Stephen Hassan's channel. He interviewed Robert Fitzpatrick and Doug Brooks. Doug Brooks is an attorney. I know both Robert and Doug. That video's kind of stockpile it, but get these things so that you can educate yourself. The best thing you can do is educate yourself, and not just like multi-level marketing bad. Start lifting the hood. Look at the underbelly. What is the if I can talk, the psychological manipulation and the cultic tactics that are used? What are those so that you can identify when they happen? Oh, thanks. Hugs to you too, Renee. But once you start understanding, and here's a book, and I need to get some audiobooks. Okay, here's my plan. When Rich goes back to work, Rich is my husband, there's some audiobooks that I want to listen to, but right now he's walking with me with the dogs. So I'd look kind of like an asshat if I'm listening to an audiobook as I'm walking with my husband. What good would that do? He wouldn't go with me, but this is one of the books I would recommend. And I've gone over parts of it, but this is very important. There's a number of different books. Stephen Hassan has mentioned a lot of them. I've also found Chris Shelton's channel, he's a former Scientologist, listening to him dissect everything and hearing other people's stories who have been in a cult, because I'm like, wow, I start seeing how things were used on me when I was in Beachbody. But it's only because I have chosen to seek these things out. And I haven't chosen just to go, this person's bad because they're doing X, Y, and Z. Oh, I can't believe this person is doing X, Y, and Z. When I do things like that, I try to provide insight into what's going on and why they're doing that. What is how are they being manipulated? Because every single person who has joined multi-level marketing has been manipulated, has gone through thought reform, and your personality changes. You have your before personality, before MLM personality. And I believe Margaret Singer is the one that talks about this. It's like the pre-cult personality, the personality during the cult, and then afterwards, and then you have to like rectify everything. And there's not really many therapists out there. There's Doug and Wendy Duncan, who are both, they're in Dallas, and they've both been in a religious cult, so they understand, what that's like, and they do counseling. But there's not a lot of people out there for people who are like survivors of multi-level marketing. But you are, when you come out, you're a survivor from it, and then you're kind of fragmented. And there's not a kit of like, here, this is how you put yourself back together, because everybody's a little bit different and everybody's shell-shocked. You really are shell-shocked. It's like, because you've been just like taken apart for so long, and you've been this other person that you don't know how to behave like who you were, and you don't know how to kind of like, combine these different pieces together so that you're whole. You're Humpty Dumpty, you've fallen apart, and it's like, now where's the super glue to put yourself back together? That's basically what you're dealing with. And that's why being hateful it's not going to help. That's going to hurt people mentally. It's not going to help solve anything by being hateful to others. So, okay. All right. Now I'm going to talk to you. Okay, there I am again. Today when I did my interview, my God, everybody's on Zoom. I cannot tell you how many times, like, connectivity lost. Okay, so now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a couple of true crime documentaries that I watched. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Michelle Carter case, and now I'm not going to be able to remember. Oh, I think her boyfriend's name was Roy. I'm going to Google it while we are here. It even has, let's see. Yeah. Okay. This right now is playing on Netflix, and it's called Love You, Now Die, The Commonwealth versus Michelle Carter. And I watched it, and it was heartbreaking to me in a lot of ways. And what was the name of her boyfriend? Oh, wait, or is it on HBO? And if it's on HBO, then it's been unlocked by Hulu, and so that's why I have it. It might be that. And now is it going to tell me as I'm trying? Oh, okay. Conrad Roy was her boyfriend's name. Okay. So a little bit about this story, and I'm not going to give you everything, but on the surface, when you first watch it, it looks like, well, here's this girl just saying, go die. Go die. And she manipulates him into committing suicide. But then when you start peeling it back, you start to see that she was a problem girl. He was a problem boy. And those two halves came together. And their entire relationship pretty much was from text messaging, which is kind of bizarre. But in today's world, not so bizarre, because, so much of our lives are done through technology. And so this story to me was so sad, because both of these people had, psychological disorders. She was on a lot of different medication. And I'm not giving that as an excuse at all, because there are times when it's very evident that, he wanted to live. Because he was texting her because he wanted to get out of this truck, and it was carbon monoxide is what he was using in his truck, and he like drove to somewhere in the town, so it wasn't like in a garage and got a generator or something. And she was telling him, get back in there. But to me, when I was looking at it, it wasn't so much like, well, get back in there because I just want you to die. I think it was really coming more from the place, because she was one of those girls that she wasn't accepted in high school. She didn't have friends. She was on the outside looking in. And so she was wanting to find someone to accept her. And he did that. Conrad did that. And he was going through some things. He had tried to commit suicide. I want to say it was 4 times prior to their relationship and everything. So it wasn't like all of a sudden, this is just one and done and he's gone. There were warning signs, is what I'm saying. But, you know, when he did get back out of the truck and she told him to get back in, that to me is definitely a line you're crossing. But I think in her mind, because when you look at her text messages, I think, Monica, you did that video on a parasocial relationship. And so it's almost like she had that with the show Glee and a particular character, because different texts that she would send would be like from that viewpoint of that character. It's like she was living her life in a different way. Like she wasn't happy with what she had. And she was very just struggling with herself, with the fact that, you know, nobody was really accepting of her. And then she finds someone who she loves and he loves her, and he's in pain and she wants to be there for him. And it seems like the only way that she felt like she could be there for him was to help him to take his own life, which is completely messed up. Completely messed up. Yeah, doesn't it, Monica? Yeah, it is. I mean, it was so sad. It was so sad. But I think she's going to be up for parole or something in a couple of years. But you know, he had his entire life ahead of him. I want to say he was 18 or 19. Handsome dude too, really handsome. But you know, he still made that decision to get back in the truck. He could have decided not to do that. But I really kind of think, you know, when you're both kind of like messed up in the head, and I don't know, I don't remember what their diagnoses are, but you know, I mean, there was something just really not good there. Just something really messed up, I think, on both sides. And I think it's kind of hard to, not that I want to blame him, but I don't want to fully blame her either. I think it's just really, it just goes back in my mind to a very unfortunate meeting of two people who had problems that kind of fed off of each other, you know, very unhealthy. And I'm going to raise my hand. I've been in unhealthy relationships. And when you're in an unhealthy relationship, you certainly don't see it. So if you have not watched that documentary and you like true crime, I do recommend it. But it's you know, I just kind of vacillate between, I lost connectivity. Okay, it's back. Driving me crazy. I vacillate back and forth because I feel like I need more data than the documentary, but I haven't like done all this research or anything into it. It just really, it was a very sad story. The other one that I watched, and I don't remember the title of it, but it was about Gabriel Fernandez. And he was an 8-year-old boy, lived in the LA area. And he was killed by his mother and her fiance. And I mean, oh my gosh, the person who was representing Gabriel in the trial, that attorney, I'm like, hats off to you, because he was amazing the way that he presented everything. Yeah, the system did fail Gabriel, because the thing is that people did report things. And I mean, this kid, I'm talking from head to toe. There were marks on him from cigarette burns, from black eyes, just had been shot with BB guns. I mean, all kinds of things. It was horrific. Now, his mother, she had started doing drugs, I want to say in her teens or maybe around 12 years old. And there was something that happened to her. So she didn't have everything upstairs. She wasn't all there. And now in terms of the boyfriend, they really didn't go a lot into his background or much that much into her background either, because I'd really like to see what was going on really more with both of them. Because in order for someone to do what they did to this child for 8 months, I'm going, why? Why and how? How could you do any of that? And what was found, you know what was found in his stomach? What he had last eaten? You ready? Cat litter. Cat litter. And I think they were feeding him cat poop too. They kept him in a little, kind of like a little cubby. Like, you know, if you would have like a TV on top of something and then it's a cabinet, they kept him in this cabinet most of the time, handcuffed, something over his face, gag in his mouth, over his eyes, his feet. I mean, like basically hogtied in this cabinet. An 8-year-old boy. Now, the thing is that his teacher, and, you know, having been a teacher myself, I can't imagine having seen this. And she reported it. It's not like she didn't say anything. She reported it. But for Mother's Day, they shared what Gabriel made for his mother. And you could tell this was just a kid, you know, looking to be loved. He still loved his mother, even though his mother was doing all these horrible things to him. He still loved his mother, and you could tell from what he wrote for his Mother's Day thing. And the pictures that you see of him spelling mom, because he's holding up MOM and, you know, 3 different pictures. I mean, just, he's been beaten to hell and back. It was just horrible. But, you know, everything failed this child, because the cops, the sheriff's department or whatever, would show up there kind of basically, you know, in the middle of the night, never asked to speak to the kid, just accepted what the mother had to say. And she's the perpetrator of this. And she would also tell people that her kid was a liar. I mean, it's just, the entire thing was just horrific, absolutely horrific. And, you know, it kind of makes me think right now, and there was another child 2 years later who was 10 years old, and I want to say his name was Anthony, went through something very similar, different, not the same, you know, elements in terms of being locked into a little cubby or anything. But basically, you know, he was killed by his mother and her boyfriend. But makes me think of right now with what we're going through, because, you know, we are in a pressure cooker. You know, this pandemic is a mental pressure cooker. How many children are there out there that are not able to get away from their abusers? What's going on there? You know, I'm interested to see when we're on the other side of this. I think we're going to see that there were a lot of things going on that was, I guess, harming people in ways that it's not being brought out to the public right now. I know here there have been some crimes that I've seen on TV, but I'm, you know, with the kind of pressure that we are in right now as a world, I can't imagine people who are abusive like this. They're just like all chill and they're like totally fine with everything, because, you know, there's not enough money, there's not enough food, there's like not enough anything for them. And it's just horrific to think of like what could be going on that we just don't know. It just, you know, not that I like to focus on all of that stuff, but, you know, it's a reality. It's a reality that's happening that is it's just quiet right now. And I just hope that, you know, these type of crimes that I've mentioned aren't happening. But I think, you know, it's, to be a realist, is like, I wouldn't be surprised, you know, I just wouldn't be surprised. Okay. Which brings me to reopening woes. Oh, absolutely. I mean, you cannot, there's so much you can't control as a teacher. You absolutely can't. Absolutely can't. I mean, you know, you can't do everything. You're going to do so much. And that's the thing with all of the social workers, and everybody was following like their protocol, but it still happened. And my hair is like falling out over here. I'm just kind of like a hot mess right here. Oh gosh. Oh, really? a disproportionate amount. I don't know, Katie Cat, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Okay, so the other thing I have is the reopening woes. Okay, you guys know I'm in Houston, and Friday, restaurants were able to open up at 25% capacity. And I'm really glad right now. So very glad, because I'm a cancer survivor, if you didn't know that. that where my husband works at the restaurant wasn't like, let's open, because they ran the numbers and realized at 25% capacity, they wouldn't be able to make a profit. Because right now, they just have like, I think the executive chef there and the sous chef or something, and then a few other people that are full-time for the to-go orders and stuff, the wine director. So there's no one else. So in order for them to be open at 25% capacity, that would mean they'd have to bring back the entire kitchen staff. They just don't, the money's not there. And they wouldn't need, the full wait staff, obviously. But it's going to be interesting, I think, that when they are able to reopen. And I'm a little bit concerned because, again, being the cancer survivor that I am, that when he goes back, what is that going to look like? I mean, I think everyone... Exactly. Yes. How that's what I'm trying to figure out. How does it work? I think on the 18th, they're going to be able to do 50% capacity. But here's the thing, like where my husband works, what they rely on a lot of are big parties, meaning like a convention comes to town and they might have an event there where there's like 200 guests, or wedding receptions and, different things. And guess what? People are in close proximity to each other. So what's that going to look like now? What is that going to look like? I know that they are going to take out tables from the main dining room. How many? I don't know, which will also impact how many servers can be working. I guess probably how many tables you can have, and maybe even the seating arrangements on the tables. And I'm thinking like with what my husband does, because he is a sommelier, if you didn't know that. He's a wine dude. He does cellar master work during the day, which means ordering all the wine, organizing all the wine throughout the entire restaurant and everything. And they have like, I think 1,800 different vintages right now, something like that. So I'm trying to imagine when he works the floor as a som, meaning if he's working the floor as a som, that means like, hey, like you're there and you're with your family and you order a bottle of wine, or more like you're looking at the wine list and you have no idea what to get because maybe you don't know that much about wine, or maybe you do know a lot about wine. It can be either or. And so he will come over and talk to you about what you're having, what you like, figure out, maybe price range, different things, and be able to make recommendations, go and get the wine, present the wine, pour the wine, talk about the wine, and just give like this full service experience around the wine. That's what he does. But going back, with everything that's going on, I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, is he going to have to wear a mask when he talks about all of this stuff? Because, he's not going to be eating. The guests are going to be... Trace, no, he's not. He's in there working on other things, honey. The guests are not going to be wearing masks because they're there to eat. But would he have to wear a mask as he is doing the service? Are the servers going to have to wear a mask as they're working with people? Because, the guests could potentially have something and pass it. And all it's going to take is just one person, one person to get something. So I don't know. A spacing desk, I can definitely see that for students, spacing desks, because you would have to, I would think, right? And I've also heard that in like offices as well. But like in restaurants and stuff, I mean, you can space, you can remove tables and stuff, but people are still going to be sitting by each other. And there's going to be some personal service. I mean, are they going to wear gloves to, put down? But I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. But I'm just really glad that, he's not having to go back right now, because I don't feel comfortable because we don't have a test, we don't have a cure, we don't have a vaccine, we don't have all these different things. Now, do I know that yes, we need to get back to normal, and but at what cost? I am afraid that we will see something return in a couple of weeks, you know? Victoria, I would agree with you if people can work from home. And that's what I'm hoping will happen, because like where I work, I always work from home. You know, it's just I have. And the people that I support typically are in the office, but now they're working from home. I'm hoping that there's going to be some changes in that, you know, to continue to allow people to do that, because I just think, you know, I mean, right now, like the malls have like reopened. I mean, I wouldn't want to be touching stuff that other people are touching, you know, doors and stuff. I mean, that's just, I wouldn't want to be doing that. And I don't know about you guys, but it just, all of that just makes me a little bit uncomfortable. Okay. A lot of bit uncomfortable, you know, I mean, really, it just does. And I mean, the thing is that there's not a good answer. You look like a jerk no matter what you do. You look like a jerk if you're like, well, we just all got to stay home because, you know, our economy and all of that, and people need to work and people need to be able to sustain themselves. And you look like a jerk if you're, you know, telling everybody to go back to work. You know, I mean, it's just like there's not a good answer. There's just not a good answer. I know. Oh, good, Joseph. You're not closer than 12 feet. That's good. That's a good amount of distance. Yeah, I think everybody are going. Those kinds of things are going to have to change. Victoria, where are you at? Because you're saying people use train or bus, and in the U.S., yeah, a lot of people do commute depending on where you are. I mean, here in Houston, a lot of people do ride the bus, and we also have the light rail. And people use that too. And they've had to change that up. Something else that they're having to change up is like planes. I mean, would you want to sit squished next to somebody on a plane? I know I would. I mean, what's that going to look? I mean, there's just everything. I need to get a new driver's license. Hashtag it's my birthday month. I need a new driver's license. So I don't, you know, how are those things going to do? Okay, so you are in New Jersey, New York. Okay, yeah. So yeah, a lot of people, you guys are relying on the subway and all that. You guys have got great mass transportation there. I don't blame you, Victoria. I wouldn't want, if my husband was taking the train, like if we lived in Chicago, I wouldn't want him taking the train. And I certainly wouldn't want him or myself being in an open office. I used to work when I worked as an instructional designer for some different companies, there was that open office concept. I'm hoping that's going to come to a screeching halt, because I always thought it was so stupid. I couldn't stand it. It made me so uncomfortable. And now, you know, I think that's going to have to be reimagined, so to speak. You know what I mean? Okay, guys, I have gone through just about. Thank you. Thank you very much for the happy birthday month. Yes, I will be doing different. I don't know what I'll be doing for my birthday month, but, you know, talking a lot about, you know, whatever's on my mind, because I just come on here and kind of babble to you guys. And I really appreciate you showing up as I babble, you know. My favorite sparkling water, HEB, orange. Oh, my husband, I think he had to go to 3 different HEBs to find this for me. Is that not sweet? Good guy. Anyway, I'm going to get down the go-go because I've got to take out the bad dogs. That's what I call them. To go on either the bear trail or the biscuit circuit. The bear trail is when we take a walk and we see all the bears. The biscuit circuit is going around our block because there's this really cute dog named Biscuit that we see, and she's not always out. But Biscuit is a very sweet dog. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And look for the Killing Fields, which will be coming out. And I have another video that's coming out where it is basically you are being taught how to become an Emerald coach for Beachbody within 1 hour. And I tear that apart. And I have something else coming up for Beachbody, which I just kind of like came into my bubble. And it's this very high ranking coach and kind of some of the BS that I see him doing, and I'm kind of like breaking that down for you. And I have a few other things on the plate too. So, you know, Look for that. And again, thanks for being here. Have a great, fantastic evening. Take care of yourself. Be safe. And I'll see you later. Bye.